Hey Blush fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video, I am doing more comparisons from that huge estate haul that I got of over 2,000 bottles of nail polish. Today's video is going to be the last grouping of the Cult Nails brand, and we are doing everything from white to black polish, some browns, oranges, and yellows. So we are trying to see if I have any dupes within the brand, as well as see if I feel like I can go ahead and destash some of these. So let's go ahead and get started. The first two that we're going to compare are the two white polishes. The first one didn't have a label on it, so I was just calling it white. I think it was the counterpart to Fetish, so I'm not actually sure what the official name of that one might have been. And then the other sparkly one is called Angel Whispers, and that one is kind of this off-white, almost with a pinch of pink in it, and of course a lot of sparkle. So here is white on the left, that is in just one coat, and then on the right is Angel Whispers in two, and pardon the little goof up there. I think I was a little quick to let some of these touch when I was doing the swatching, so a couple of them have little mars here and there. But this is with a glossy top coat. White is pretty much what you would expect. It is a white cream. And then Angel Whispers is a more sparkly, slightly off-white, again with that slight hint of pink. But as you can see when you're comparing it to that white, there's not that much pink in it. It's just the barest pink. So it is cute. Do I need it? Again, with the white, do I need it? White is definitely one of those pretty basic colors that nearly every single brand releases a version of. So I don't exactly think I need to keep that one. So I do think we're going to start off with a destash right there. And I'm going to go ahead and let go the unlabeled white. Does that mean that I'm keeping Angel Whispers? That was the sparkly one. You know what? I think we are going to be on a roll. I do think I am going to let this one go. It is cute, but since we are in the winter season, I have been taking a look at a lot of my polishes in this realm of a sparkly white or off-white, and I do already have a number of them, so I don't really think I need another one, and I wasn't over the moon about this once I had it swatched. It's cute, it's okay, but again, not in love with it, so we are going to go ahead and just let that one go. We're on a roll already. All right, next up is a couple grays. The lightest one is called Faded. The one with some pink, blue, and purple sparkles is called Disciplined. I love the different colors that you can see in that one. So here we have Faded on the left in two coats. On the right is Disciplined with three. For that one, because it does have those sparkles in it, it had a more jelly consistency. And again, pardon the mar. I think that one might have been the one that touched Angel Whispers there. Both of these, again, are with a glossy top coat. So again, with the cream, that light gray, we are dealing with a pretty basic, not really fancy color. It is a nice light gray. I would call it maybe like a light dove gray. I'm pretty sure I ended up keeping it so that I could do some comparisons of it, but I don't know, on the swatch, it was a little patchy in its formula. I mean, again, it is an older polish, so that's not too surprising, but I just wasn't, again, in love with it. So we are going to go with it. Faded is going to get the boot as well. And then we have Disciplined. And I do think I want to hold on to this one. I really like the sparkles that I'm seeing in it. I feel like a lot of times when I get a gray polish that has a sparkle in it, it isn't often this mix. I think there's often a green shimmer, but I like the different colors in this one. So I am going to hold on to Discipline. That is our first keeps of this grouping. Then onto our two silvers. The first one is a hollow called Mayhem, and then we have a silver chrome called Lethal. The hollow one, though, did surprise me. In the bottle, I'm not sure if I could tell what the consistency of that polish was going to be, but I'm pretty sure after swatching it, it's meant as a topper. If it's not meant as a topper, mine got thinned down by a long shot. However, the chrome was a one coater. So on the left is Mayhem, and that is three coats. Like I said, at this point, my guess is that was intended as a topper. And then the right is Lethal in just a single coat. Very impressed. Look how opaque that is. Again, both of these do have a glossy top coat, but I mean, that one, yeah, That is sheer. So to test out my theory, I did actually end up putting one coat of Mayhem over my current Mani, which is Alice by Zoya, over CND Vinylux's Eternal Midnight. So that's here on the right on its own with 2 coats of glossy top coat, and on the left is 1 coat of Mayhem over it. So it is a beautiful topper. It adds a nice hollow wash. So for that context, I am going to be holding on to Mayhem. Now at some point I am going to have to compare it to all of the other hollow toppers that I have. I think I have at least a couple, but for the time being we'll hold on to it. And then for Lethal, this was that beautiful silver chrome. Again, holding on to this for the time being. This is one of those finishes that's kind of hard for me to come by in a good formula. And this is just a single coat, so I'm holding on to that one as well. Now we're moving into our Blackened Bases, dark grays. We have 2 that we're going to compare right off the bat that have a beautiful amount of sparkles or glitter in them. The first one is Inescapable and the second one is Disillusion. Inescapable has some rose gold and silver glitters, and then Disillusion has a bunch of like fuchsia or magenta shards in there. And that is more of a black jelly base. Both of these are in 3 coats. Inescapable is on the left, Disillusion is on the right. I think those fuchsia glitters or shards are a little bit harder to see on camera. They do end up getting quite overtaken, I feel, even in that jelly base. And then the sparkles of the rose gold and silver do sparkle nicely in that first one. But I think for both of these, honestly, once they're swatched, I don't know, I'm just not in love with them. Like I said, those fuchsia shards in Disillusion just sort of get hidden away. Now, I suppose I could put that in 1 or 2 coats over a black to sort of let them breathe a little bit, but I don't want to start giving myself excuses about polishes because I already have an overwhelmingly large collection. So if I have to baby a polish for a specific look, I don't need it. So I think for both of these, I am going to go ahead and let them go. The babying is more for Disillusion, whereas Inescapable, I'm just not in love with it. I just don't see myself really reaching for that over a few of the other Blackened Bases that I already own. So both of those are going to get destashed. We are doing good this round. All right, the next 2 is our darkest gray with our black polish. We have Blackout and Fetish. So Blackout is a very dark gray and Fetish is our black cream. And I'm again not impressed with my Sharpie markers that I got. That is at least the second time that I have had one completely rub off on my swatches, and again on Blackout it's almost doing the same thing. Okay, so Blackout is on the left in 2 coats, Fetish is on the right also in 2. So here, hopefully you guys can tell on your screen, on the left of Blackout is the dark gray, on the right Fetish is that black cream. So these both are just cream polishes, nothing fancy about them. There I think you can tell the tonal differences of Blackout versus Fetish. So Fetish is definitely much more of a super dark stark black, whereas Blackout is more of a, would you call it like a cool toned charcoal maybe? But again, the question is do I need both? Do I need either of these in my collection? Obviously, black and white polishes are good basic colors to have in a collection. Of course, at this point, I already have a number of them. I did hold on to this because it was from Cult Nails, so I think for the time being, I will go ahead and just hold on to Fetish because it is labeled and it is in good shape still and usable. Does that mean I'm keeping or destashing Blackout? That one, when it compared all on its own, is kind of close to looking like a black, although I feel, again, in person, I can tell it's a gray. I feel like on camera, my camera's just sort of blurring it out into a black, but there is definitely a pinch of lightness to it when compared to a stark black. But you know what? I think I'm actually talking myself into this. Reason being is sometimes I might not want a stark black, and I think this would be a good option to have when I want a almost black and I don't want to add a dark purple or a dark navy under it. This would be a good option to have. So I do think I am going to hold on to Blackout. Okay, now moving on to the row of browns leading into some miscellaneous, like one miscellaneous pink that somehow slipped through the cracks, into our oranges and then our yellows. So the first two that we're going to compare are our browns. The first one is Misconduct and the second one is Power Thief. We have one cream and one shimmer. Misconduct is the darkest and is a cream, almost like a cool tone brown. And then Power Thief is a lighter, almost like milk chocolate yellow leaning brown that has a bunch of shimmer in it. I'm seeing some pinks and greens and a little bit of silver. So here they are on the nail. We have Misconduct on the left in 2 coats, Power Thief on the right also in 2, again both with a glossy top coat. Misconduct is actually very, very dark once it's swatched. I think this is again one of those colors that's going to be kind of hard to tell from far away that you aren't maybe wearing a black polish. So here it is compared to Fetish. It is a few shades lighter than that black one, but there is Fetish and there is Misconduct. I am thinking I'm going to keep Misconduct again for the same reason as I kept Blackout. I think having a few almost black but not quite options would be nice, especially when you're dealing with wearing them under certain colors that you might be looking for a specific tone to have under a polish. So I am going to be keeping Misconduct. And then Power Thief. For this one, I do think once it's swatched, the tone of it is just not very flattering on my skin tone. So I do think I will go ahead and let this one go. Next up, the last brown is called Afterglow, and this one doesn't really have anything to compare it to. This is in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. So this one has a pinch of red in it. There's some shimmer. I'm seeing pink and gold in there. This one's pretty unique. It is still a bit on the squishy side though, they're in those 3 coats, but I am loving the pink sparkles that I'm seeing in this one. And again, I do feel like this is a pretty unusual color. I don't think I have anything quite like it in my collection, so I will be holding on to this one. Whoops, Power Thief almost slipped by as a keep. Okay. Now we're moving on to our golden glitters. We have Limelight and Blaze. So Limelight has some pinks in there. It has some aqua, some silver, as well as the gold. And then Blaze has some like silver and orange micro glitters. So both of these are very sparkly. They have all the twinkles. Limelight has some larger glitters. Blaze is more of those micro size glitters. And here they are side by side. Limelight is on the left. Blaze is on the right. Both of these are on 3 coats with a glossy top coat. I do feel like both of these do come off mostly as a gold, although there is more orange in Blaze. Limelight mostly has those gold glitters and then the sparkles of the pink and aqua. So I don't think I'm going to be keeping that one. I was hoping that I would see a little bit more, I guess, of those pink and aqua glitters, but it does come off as mostly a gold, so I don't think I would really reach for Limelight. So we're going to destash that one. For Blaze, though, I do think I want this one. I really like the micro glitter size, and I also like those orange glitters in here. It's totally freaking my camera out right now. But yeah, this is beautiful, and I think it could make a lovely topper. So keeping Blaze. Next up is another one that doesn't really have anything to compare it to. It is one of the shimmer shades called Deception. This is it in just 2 coats, half on its own and half over black. Half over black, you can actually see the shifts in that. In the bottle, mainly, you're seeing sort of this corally pinky orange. And when it's on its own, you actually can't see any of that coming through. Now again, this is just the 2 coats. I don't know if I might get more color payoff if I layer it in 3, but I get the feeling this was mainly meant as a topper. So over the black, you can really start to see the purple shimmer come out to play, which was kind of a surprise because I don't really see the purple at all in the bottle. So that was kind of an interesting surprise. So I do think I'm going to be holding on to Deception. I want to see how it would play over a few other colors. Could make a fun topper. Now moving on to same polish, different version. We have 2 versions of Captivated. We have A and B. Now that's just what I've labeled them. I think somewhere along the way, one version of this slipped through the cracks with a white glitter. This is version A. Version B is the one with the white glitter. And here they are on the nail. A is on the left, B is on the right. Both of these are in 3 coats. Now I feel like on camera they are going to look identical, but in person, actually there, you can kind of start to see the differences. There's almost a bit more orange in the version A, whereas version B leans a little bit more like watermelon-y pink. And of course, when you look at them up close, you have the white glitters in one, whereas you don't have white glitters in version A. So I don't know if that was a mistake with one of the glitters, or if one of the glitters, maybe in version B, what I'm calling version B, had a flaw in it and maybe started to turn white. I honestly don't know. But here again, hopefully you can tell the difference. So version A, version B, version A is oranger, version B is pinker. And again, white glitters, not white glitters. Now, this is one of those instances, though, where I think the original owner of this collection really loved this polish because there were multiple bottles of both versions. So I did only allow myself to keep one bottle of each version, but I need to decide if I am keeping with that, if I am allowing myself to keep both bottles, or if I don't really need them. But honestly, the more I look at them, the bases are different. There is that more orange base to version A, and there is more of that watermelon pink to version B. So you know what? We're going with it. We're keeping both. It's a good thing I did a good job destashing on the first row of this. Okay, the next one is the only orange cream. This is Ay Papi in 2 coats. This is a vibrant orange cream. It has kind of a squishy formula, very true orange shade. I don't see too much in the way of like a red lean to it. It is very orange and I like it. I don't know that I really have too much in this specific shade range. Now, I will be doing more comparisons after this. Once I've finished up with Cult Nails, I'll start another brand, and then after all of the brand comparisons, I'm going to do color comparisons within the keep pile. So we'll see if this stands the test of time, but for the time being, I am going to hold on to Ay Papi. Moving on into our yellows, we actually are going to compare 3 yellows. Yes, I get 3 yellows. That might surprise my regulars, but we've got Feel Me Up, You're My Dandelion, and New Day. We have 3 completely different shades of yellow. Feel Me Up is more of like a sunshine daffodil yellow, whereas You're My Dandelion is more of what I would call like a true yellow. You're My Dandelion also has a subtle shimmer in it, which might not really be showing up on camera too well, but you see that light glow. There's a little gold shimmer in it. And then New Day is a pastel yellow. Here they are left to right. We have Feel Me Up in 2 coats. So on the far left, in the middle is You're My Dandelion in 2 coats, and on the right is New Day in 3. And again, pardon the smudges, especially on a light color like that. I am bummed that that happened, but I think you can still see the shades there, especially the orange tone there in Feel Me Up, and then the pastel lightness in New Day. Yellow's not my favorite color, but I am trying to try a few colors and see if I can't use them in nail art as an accent nail, or if some of them might just be some nice spring manis. And I do really like the tone of Feel Me Up. That orange sort of daffodil yellow is a really nice shade, so I will be keeping that one. Then we have You're My Dandelion and New Day. I do feel like once they're swatched, I do not see that shimmer in You're My Dandelion, like at all. It's not there at all. Again, pardon the fuzzies and the smudges. Poor yellows, but yeah, I don't know. That one is just not really doing it for me, so I think I will go ahead and let go of You're My Dandelion. Am I keeping the pastel? I think I will go ahead and hold on to New Day. Again, I don't know if that's going to be long term because it is going to have to be compared to all of the other colors in my keeps pile. But I do like it. It's a nice, soft, delicate, kind of buttercream yellow, so I do want to hold on to that one. Just one more and we are finished with Cult Nails. We are ending it up with a shimmer polish, and this is 2 Timer, and this is in 2 coats and 1 coat, so 2 coats on its own, 1 coat over black. And this one, as you can see, has a beautiful green shimmer in a yellow base, and kind of on the larger particle size, just by a pinch. It is a beautiful color. Now it is mainly a green that I'm seeing, so I'm trying to decide if that is something that I need, that I want, that I don't have already. It is still in sort of this golden yellow base, which is not my favorite. So you know what, I do think I'm going to end it strong and go with a destash. We're going to let go of 2 Timer. All right, so we looked at 23 polishes. and I'm getting rid of 9 of them. So not quite half, but I still feel like I did a pretty good job. Let me know which ones were your favorites. Let me know if you could see the differences, especially between these two captivated versions. And if you're new, think about hitting that little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos. We'll have to see which brand I tackle next. Stay tuned for that. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hopefully you had a good time, and I will see you in that next one.